So hi, if you don't know me, I'm Jess. I am a LARPer, and at the Lorien Trust I am what is called an NPC. If you don't know what an NPC is, it stands for non-player character, as it does in most video games and other such gaming genres. The difference is here though is that I'm a volunteer at the Lorien Trust, so I help out in exchange for free tickets and free food. And when I say help out, I mean I give them all of my time and energy in order to ensure that players who are paying have an amazing time. I'm specifically the one I see, which stands for First in Command of the Archers Guild. Me and my team write the plot. We run the safety competencies for the Lorien Trust for bow and claws, and we manage general archers across the field in terms of crafting and hopefully get them all together and ensure that they're all having a really good time. So last weekend I went to the Gathering. The Gathering is the last of the Lorien Trust 4 mainline LARP events, and it's more often not the biggest one. The Gathering is usually quite busy for NPCs because the extra bodies of people mean that we've got to divide our time better. We've got a lot of people who are not going to be here for the spring, so they want to get all of their stuff done in the space of the one event that they're going to be there. And that often means that a lot of us can get quite stressed and quite tired. But we try to throw ourselves into it. Because at the end of the day, we all want you to have a good time. We all want everyone to have fun. And oh my god, this event was so fun. In the best and worst ways possible. My character's best friend died in a void flush, which is essentially the result of a ritual. So just to clarify, in the Lorien Trust we have rituals which take place in the main set build, in the ritual circle. And what they are essentially are is performance pieces designed to get stuff. And that stuff could be items, it could be plot altering, it could turn characters into various monsters or wibbly wobblies and give them special powers. And what you essentially do is you make up this performance piece, you get people to help, you go in and you do it, and if it goes really well, amazing things can happen. If it doesn't, you could get a void flush, which is essentially there's a massive hole in the back of the ritual circle which leads to the void, and if your score isn't great, you can get pulled into that, and a variety of things can happen. You can get spat back out with lots of weird sort of horrible things. You can all be reduced down to bleeding and start to have your characters die, or you can be insta-killed. My friend was insta-killed along with the entire ritual team. And it was absolutely devastating. I cried, like ugly cried. For real, not even like, fake, LARP tears. It was proper like, oh my god, tears streaming down my face. He very kindly has lent me his hat as a wonderful memento of him. I wore it the entire event. I don't even like hats, but I didn't dare take it off because my friend is dead, and this is the only thing I have to remember him by. And that was quite fun because it's part of a plot to do with the Fey realm of Arcadia and a war that the Lorien Trust world of Adrea is now having with Arcadia itself. And as a result of this ritual, which was disrupted by the forces of the Silver Throne who rule Arcadia, I went straight back to my guild and forged a Feybane weapon to go and kill all of the Arcadian Fae I can possibly find. Which leads into what I'm doing over winter, and I'll get back to that in a minute. It was very eventful in general. The plot of the actual event was to do with this Chaos Beast, that was living on Viper lands. Vipers are one of the factions of Adrea. If you want to know more about the Lorien Trust, just for reference, I will include a link below. I enjoy the event very much. I know lots of other people do too, that's why they keep coming back. So if you are in the UK or coming to the UK sometime next year and want to check us out, the link is below. But yeah, so the event was run by the Vipers. They built this beautiful Chaos Beast set build, which was essentially you could walk inside the actual beast itself, and there was its throat and its stomach, and oh, it was... they really went all out. There was various effects in there. There was this, I will include pictures and video of this as we go along. One of my favourite bits was this orb, which I can only presume was its brain. And it had words scrolling across the orb, which I can only presume were its thoughts, and those changed over the course of the weekend. I've actually got some footage, which I can show you now, of at the start and at the end of the weekend and how things have changed. And there was various other sort of subtle things as well. I went in to have a team meeting with my guild in the shop that they had built inside the beast, and had to leave immediately because a smell had started emanating from the stomach area behind me that made me physically nauseous, and I know it was done on purpose to add ambiance and immersion, and it was vile. So I had to leave, and we went and had our meeting in the bar instead, so I didn't throw up. They also had all this stuff all over the walls of the set build, which are Viper laws and bylaws. And they are a quite chaotic nation. Their number one law is do not get caught, which I think describes them aptly. They put in a massive amount of work. The whole thing was great. Their camp looked amazing as well. It was beautifully lit up in all these green lights. I was told they were going for a bit of a Halloween kind of look, which they got beautifully. I'll include a picture of this at the end, as well as all the other camps as well. They were taken by Winterpicked Photography, who is a amazingly talented photographer who has been to the Lorien Trust events. If you want to have a look at his work, go to his Facebook page, which I link will also be included in the description below. Absolutely beautiful. Follow him on Facebook. He's absolutely amazing. The plot of the event was quite good, from what I was told. I didn't interact with it very much for various reasons. As an NPC, you're kind of not discouraged from engaging with plot, but as our primary focus is players, most of us tend to push players to the front as opposed to dealing with plot ourselves. So I actually don't know too much of actually what happened, if I'm honest. And yeah, my players went and got involved. The Chaos Beast was apparently escaping from underground, and the Wellspring of Lore, which was the ritual circle we were at, had moved at Adrea's will to sit on top of it, trying to keep it in, because Lore and Chaos are diametrically opposed, and therefore extra load of chaos in the world is not what Lore wants, and therefore actively was trying to prevent it from happening. And so players were pretty much given a choice of let it live, let it die, can it be saved, and I'm honestly not too sure what happened. I believed it died through player action. What that player action is, I don't know. The end of the event, which is always a massive battle, ended, and I don't actually know what happened because I was dealing with an in-game incident of a player who we had executed. I say we had executed, the Vipers had him executed. It was very dramatic, and I was running around dealing with that and dealing with what was happening for probably an hour. And it was a great end to the event. The player, I had to speak to the player after just to make sure he was okay. He seemed quite happy. It was an amazing end for a character, because when you are playing in a field with so many people, it's really easy to have a rubbish death. You know, you wander off into the dark and some poor monster just gets you, or another player gets you, and you just sort of disappear into the ether. And that can be a really, really rubbish death. So to be publicly executed with an entire faction standing around you and all of these people shouting and arguing about it is a pretty awesome death. It's a pretty awesome end. Whether my wonderful player agrees or not, I don't know, but I thought it was pretty cool, for various reasons. I hope that when my character goes out, it's something equally dramatic. Which leads on to my winter, because I'm expecting to die horribly. So in regards to Arcadians Overthrow, my best friend died, I've got his hat, I've got a Faebane weapon, and an event is running in March where the characters are expected to go on a raid to an Arcadian vault. I'm very excited about this because sanctioned events are essentially where NPCs get to go and have a break, and they get to run in and save the day. Not like go and take it away from players, but we don't have to worry necessarily about is our guilds running or our factions running, because they're not there. So we can go and have some fun and have a fight and have a good time. And so when booking opened on Friday for this event, I booked in so fast, and so just to make sure I got a spot, which I'm glad I did, because the event sold out in 19 minutes, which shocked World Plot. I'm not shocked. Everyone's been looking forward to this. People have been buying Fae weapons all over the place. They are absolutely keen to kick in Arcadia. So I'm not surprised it sold out. What surprised me was the number of monsters that signed up as well, because monsters are not always something that are very easy to get hold of. A lot of people don't necessarily want to for a variety of reasons over winter, and that's all quite valid. But we're looking at a player to monster ratio of nearly 1-to-1, which is horrifying, especially when you look at sort of some of the monsters who are going and who they are and how good they are at what they do. And I'm kind of looking at it going, that character build I did a video on, with a link which I will put here, may suddenly become really relevant soon. Which I hope not, because I'm not done with Briar yet. I've got plenty of things left to do. But this could happen over winter, and I'm going to have to sort of possibly get used to that idea. It'll be fun. I'm looking forward to playing a new character. I won't be stepping down from the Archers Guild just because I die, unless the Lorien Trust tells me to. Which I hope they don't, because I'm enjoying what I do, and I'm told I'm doing a good job, so yay. If I did lose Briar, I wouldn't be stepping away from the Archers Guild. I've got a lot of stuff that'll still left to do with it before I decide to step down from volunteering. But once I do, I'm really looking forward to this new character that I've got. I've started commissioning a costume for her. Yeah, it's going to be fun. What else is happening over winter? One of the factions, the Hearts, is running an event. They are based off Arthurian mythology. Yeah, I think they're absolutely fun. Their plotline's amazing, and the pitch they've got for this event that they've put up on their Facebook page sounds so awesome, and I'm so intrigued. So bookings are opening tomorrow night, and I'm hoping to get in there quick so that I can go and play. Yay! Other LARP events over the winter, not that many to be honest. There might be a few other ones in the spring before mainline season starts again in May, but I don't know how many of them I'll actually be going to. Nick wants to go to 1 or 2, and that puts me on baby duty. But you know, that's life. There's a few other LARPs I'm planning to do this year. There's one I'm planning on staffing, which is a LARP based on Renaissance France, which I'm quite excited about because I've never done historical LARP before, and I'm not even playing it, I'm reffing it, which will be quite fun, so looking forward to that. There's a few other bits and bobs I want to try over the course of next year LARP wise, but at the end of the day, Lorien Trust is my big one. I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah, I had a wonderful time at the gathering. It was busy and fun. I want to thank everybody who has made my event awesome, from everyone backstage to all the other NPCs. You are all absolutely fantastic. To my team, Marcus, John and Stacey, you are all absolute legends. Thanks for all the support this year. I hope you enjoy working with me as much as I enjoy working with all of you. To my wonderful players who push me harder to work on writing you good plots, to make the guild a better place, and to make sure that you all have fun and are taken care of in that field. Thank you all for being awesome. And thank you generally to the Lorien Trust and all of its wonderful people that are there. You are all absolutely fantastic. It has been an amazing year and I'm really looking forward to 2020. I hope you all are too. If you want to see more of the stuff that's going on, I'm going to try and do some vlogging of the Hearts event and of the World Sanctuary event. Plus I do other videos such as various LARP 101s. My personal vlog has got some other bits and bobs too. I'm going on holiday in a few weeks to Centre Parks with my family, so we'll probably vlog about that. Yeah, so please follow me on Twitter and on Instagram because I put a lot of my video links up there. And don't forget to subscribe as well because I want to share all the awesome stuff that I'm doing. So yeah, please follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and don't forget to subscribe as well because how are you going to watch all of my videos if you don't subscribe? So yeah, have a wonderful winter. You'll be seeing more of me over the next few weeks and months, and I'm looking forward to 2020. Bye.